Hey everyone, and welcome to Elevated Nutrition and Wellness's webinar of the week. So my name is Eleanor Baker. For all of you who do not know, I'm a registered dietitian and the owner of Elevated Nutrition and Wellness. This week, we're focusing on finding your balance through restorative techniques. So what does this mean for you? So if you guys are active individuals or are very driven individuals, a lot of times we can find ourselves in very chaotic states of life. And I just wanted to share with you guys some techniques that I've used with clients to help them find balance and regain that restorative practice in their life so that they can perform better in their sport, in their career, and in their life. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started and move over to the PowerPoint. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the chat, or if you have questions after the recording, you can always feel free to email me at eleanorvbaker@gmail.com. All right, so let me go ahead and get this screen share going. Okay, awesome. So again, this is going to be finding balance through restorative techniques. So today we're going to focus on sustainable nutrition and lifestyle interventions that are going to help increase your performance and boost your longevity. So we're focusing on behavioral changes that can last you a lifetime. So this is not a 30-day program. It's very individualized in how I approach things. So I hope that you can take away different aspects that are going to be really beneficial for you and help you in the long run. So here we have a graphic of my approach to wellness. So throughout consulting, I found that there's 6 key elements that are going to help you to maintain and find balance in your lifestyle. So we focus a lot on nutrition, but also being mindful about your sleep, how you're connecting with loved ones, your community, and socializing regularly with friends and family, what your mindset is looking like, so how you talk to yourself, what your intentions are you goal setting, your environment, so are you outside frequently, are you exposed to a lot of toxins, how is your kitchen set up? These are all great things to keep in mind. And last but not least, sweat. So are you moving throughout the day? Are you exercising regularly? Do you have a strength training practice? Are you doing cardio to help get your heart rate up? These are all very important aspects to keep at the forefront of your health. So just to outline things, we are going to talk a little bit about setting yourself up for success to make sure that you have good toolkits and you're laying the framework to help you get there. Symptoms that have popped up in consulting with clients that you should be aware of that could be holding you back. Tools to correct it. So we're going to talk about a couple different techniques that you can incorporate into your daily routine and start to see that balance and grounding. And included in this is a wellness assessment worksheet, which I'll put in the chat. And if you're following a recording, go ahead and email me and I'll get you set up with that. And last but not least, our Imbalance Performance Program. So this is something that I've been working on for a while and wanted to share with you guys a little bit more about that and how you can get involved with your community to improve your performance and stay focused. Okay, so the first topic is mindset. So if you remember on our honeycomb, mindset is on there as one of the 6 key elements of wellness. So making sure that you're in the right headspace is really going to be what's going to help you set yourself up for success. So my first question is, are you setting goals regularly? Do you have a 1-year goal? Do you have 6-month goals? Do you have a to-do list that you do every day? How are you setting up those goals to work for you? And making sure that you're setting up fewer rather than too many. So that way you can make sure that you're accomplishing those readily and moving forward and progressing in your state. So daily intentions is another great way to kind of check in with yourself and make sure that you're talking to yourself with good esteem. So having a daily intention, are you going to be energized and focused? Are you going to practice kindness? Are you going to eat well for breakfast? Are you struggling with dinner? So you want to focus on that. Having an intention that goes along with your goals can be really beneficial in helping you be successful. And weekly reflection, this is something that has come up more and more as I've seen, been working with different executives and um, athletes as well, but having a time that you set aside to reflect on what you accomplished that week, what you've accomplished in the month, over the year, can be really powerful. And just looking back from what I've accomplished in the last week, it's kind of neat to to see that progress. And a lot of times that can be something that motivates you significantly and helps you improve your outlook on how you're living your life, but also can highlight areas that you might not be paying attention to as much that you need to focus on more. And then having an accountability community or mentor can really be beneficial, whether you're in business and you're working with a business coach, or you're in athletics and you're working with a personal trainer or a running coach, what have you. Having an accountability community is going to be really important, and having somebody that can be there for you. So this is what a lot of clients use me for with nutrition and lifestyle interventions. I'm also starting a Facebook group to where you guys can be involved with that, share what you're working on, and help support one another in that way as well. And last but not least, who are you surrounding yourself with? So the saying goes, you are a reflection of the 5 people that you surround yourself with most. And I think that is so true. And making sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who are positive, are progressive, and inspire you, but also taking note of how you're reflecting on them. Are you supporting them? Are you being a positive voice? Are you letting them be negative and diving into that negativity as well? So be aware of how you're structuring your voice, how you're structuring your life, and how that is working for you, but also what you're doing for the people around you. In that, are you magnetizing people towards you in your positivity and your inspiration to them, or are you repelling them because you are putting out negative energy, you're spewing out negative words that people don't want to be associated with, or maybe that's not aligned with their goals. So being aware of who you're surrounding yourself with, but also who you are as an individual and what you want to become out of that. Some things that I find are holding people back when they walk in and work with me. First and foremost is sleep. So I cannot stress this enough. Sleep is incredibly important if you want to accomplish anything in your life, really. We go to sleep, and it's a very odd thing if you think about it, because when we go to sleep, we're there and we're very vulnerable. It's not very productive. We're not getting anything done. But the importance of sleep to rejuvenate the body, to remove toxins from the brain, and to help reset the mind is important, especially if you're making big decisions. You know, they always say sleep on it. There's a reason, and it gives you clarity afterwards. The second one is going to be moving regularly. So if you find that you're behind a desk a lot, if you go home and you're very exhausted, so you just want to sit and watch TV, thinking about the old saying, object in motion stays in motion, is so true. If we look at the people who live the longest in the world, they do move regularly throughout their day, whether it's walking to the grocery store or walking to visit a friend or gardening, or they find all these different ways to incorporate movement into their life. And you certainly can too. You can try biking to work, you can try walking to get the groceries, or build little walks into your routine in the morning and the evening. Or you can do a 10 to 15-minute workout on your lunch break if it's really hot out or snowing or just bad weather. So that's a great way to find different movement throughout the day, and improve with that as well. Next one is stress management. So a lot of times poor stress management can come up as poor quality of sleep. So maybe you're falling asleep, having difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep. If you're waking up regularly throughout the night with your mind running, that can be a significant sign that you're not taking enough time for yourself to manage your stress. Um, some things that you can do is, we'll actually get to that later on, but being aware of if you're experiencing anxiety or depression, if you have hypertension, if you desire to be alone for long periods of time, if you're procrastinating, these are all signs and symptoms of poor stress management. And you need to take note of that and start to be more proactive about managing it and incorporating some of these pieces into your routine. Next is your relationship with food. So a lot of times people will come to me for this. This is very common. And having a poor relationship with food can also be a sign of poor stress management, or another element that is out of place in your wellness elements. Um, so this can be in the form of overeating or binge eating. So kind of feeling out of control. A lot of times this creeps up in the evening when we have more time to ourselves. And a lot of the woes of the day start to bubble to the surface. It can be skipping meals or over restriction through heavy diets, or restrictive diets. Um, it can also be from guilt surrounded by the need or desire to control your foods when you have a lack of control in the rest of your life. So, taking note of these, and if any of these symptoms pop up and are of concern for you, start to take note and use it as a red flag system to address it. Last but not least is going to be connection. So making sure that you're having social interaction regularly is important. Even if you are working very heavily towards a certain goal, having good connection is going to increase your feelings of satisfaction, and it's going to help you feel less lonely naturally. So if you find that you are wanting to be alone for long periods of time, if you are not connected, if you don't have strong friend or family relationships, if you're experiencing a lot of anger or tension or struggling to communicate with others, or if you've been known to be married to your career goals or sport, taking time to assess how your connections are can be really important. Again, this plays a lot into longevity and helping you to have a long-term sustainable lifestyle. And if we see a poor relationship with food, this can also lead to a lack of connection. So if we're having very restrictive diets, a lot of times people won't want to go out and eat with their friends and enjoy that meal and that community because they are restricted or because they are fearful of the foods there, as opposed to focusing on the connections that they're involving with other people. All right, so now onto the fun stuff is things that you can start to incorporate on a regular basis. So here is my toolkit, and I have a lot more tools outside of this, but we're gonna run through a few and give you guys some ideas. So step one to regaining balance in your routine is to develop a routine. So making sure that you're sleeping well starts with a strong evening routine. So you can write it out on a note card and post it somewhere, and just start to incorporate a more planned out routine in the evening. And that's going to help you wind down. It's going to help you build in different stress management practices like meditation or journaling, or just starting to turn the lights off, turn your electronics down. That's going to really help to develop a stronger sleep routine. And then having a morning routine. This is going to help to improve your mindset, to get you into that goal-focused, intention-based daily practice that's really going to catalyze your success towards your performance goals, and help you along the way. Next is time management. So some different techniques you can do is time blocking, where you're blocking off your calendar with action steps as opposed to tasks. So a lot of times we want to sit there and write our to-do lists, and our to-do lists can get very long. But what I would recommend is picking 3 things that you want to accomplish that week, and then building your calendar according to the actions that you need to take to accomplish those goals, to really streamline things and make sure that you're having realistic expectations on what you can actually produce in a week. And this is not only going to keep you on task, but it's also going to keep you very accountable and to see where you progressed and where you can improve once you're doing that weekly assessment. My next tip is practice mindfulness techniques. So this can be through meditation. It can be through doing an intuitive eating exercise. You can take time to go for a walk without music. You can do art. So start to develop a mindfulness practice where you're living in the moment and really enjoying where you're at, as opposed to thinking about the 20 other things on your to-do list that you have to get involved with right away. And the power of self-talk. So we've talked about this a little bit. This is where bringing in a journaling routine can be really beneficial in helping you to better understand how you speak to yourself, but also how you communicate with others as a reflection of that. So one of my favorite things to recommend to people is to practice writing 10 things that you're grateful for every day, especially if you're struggling with finding the silver lining, or maybe you're struggling with enjoying work or enjoying things that are going on at home. So if you're focused on 10 things that you're grateful for every day, that's really going to shift your perspective into more of a glass is half full as opposed to glass is half empty. Again, moving regularly, we talked a little bit about that earlier. Building that into your routine is important. And nutrition for focus and to induce calm. So this is my favorite area, and I wanted to share with you guys some different calming teas. So look for ones that include chamomile, valerian root, or mother's little helper. These are all going to be excellent options for helping you to calm down or relax at night. A great one to take before bedtime, usually an hour to 2 hours out, is really going to help you get into the mood for sleep and reduce any stress and start to relax. You can also incorporate ashwagandha, which is a supplement, or a tincture that you can do and take that in the morning to help with stress management and better coping skills along with that. For focus, you can try lion's mane, which is a medicinal mushroom. It comes in a powdered form. You can take a supplement, or you can just have it as is. It's actually a pretty tasty one to eat. And it comes in this big ball, and it looks like white lion's mane on the ball. So if you cut it up and eat it like a button mushroom, it's really tasty and quite simple. Some other nutrition recommendations to help make sure that you're staying calm is focusing on a lot more vegetables and fruit, as well as whole grains. So we're thinking millet, quinoa, black rice, wild rice, brown rice, things like this. These are going to have different B vitamins in it, which can help to reduce anxiety. If you're still struggling with anxiety, you can also incorporate a B complex, which can be really beneficial for helping that as well. I do always recommend doing a micronutrient test before supplementation, just to ensure that you actually are deficient and can utilize those nutrients properly, or that you're absorbing them appropriately. Things to reduce if you are experiencing anxiety or excess stress are sugar. So we're thinking added sugar as opposed to natural sugar. So sugar cane, different added sugars that are added to products, simple and refined carbohydrates. So white flours, crackers, bread, cereals, things like that that don't have any fiber to help slow it down, that can actually increase our blood sugar levels and cause added stress on the body. If you are sensitive to caffeine, or maybe you do experience a little bit more anxiety in the morning, reducing or restricting your caffeine throughout the day and supplementing it with a tea such as Rooibos, or like a white tea that has a lower caffeine content, can be really beneficial as well. Last but not least, a lot of times people will turn to alcohol when they're stressed. So reducing or eliminating alcohol during the week, and then keeping it to 1 to 2 drinks on the weekend for women to men respectively, is going to be a great way to kind of help you induce calm and find your focus and stay on top of things. All right, so going to our wellness assessment worksheet. So this is a great one for you to do and take your time to complete on your own. If you have any questions on that, please share it with me. And I love to hear about what you guys are focusing on and what you found about it, and how it's helping you. So some things to keep in mind is, what are your overarching goals? If you can't think of your top 3 goals right now, this is a great time for you to use that worksheet and really hone in on what those are. So they should be specific, they should be measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So these are SMART goals. It's an old school saying, an old school way of going about it, but it works really well. So knowing what your goals are. Also, what are your priorities in life? So a lot of times people will come to me and they say, okay, Ellie, like I want to make a lot of money. I want to have 6-pack abs. I want to have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever it is. All right. And then my response to that would be, what are you willing to sacrifice, or what is going to take priority when you have a limited amount of time? So if you have an hour in the day, are you going to spend that hour going to a coffee shop and working hard, or are you going to spend that hour trying to meet people and develop that personal relationship, or are you going to spend that hour at the gym? So thinking about where your priorities in life are and what is going to rise to the top is really important. In the wellness assessment, you'll see a checklist, a check chart, and just kind of check off where you are currently with your healthcare, and that's going to give you a better idea of what you need to focus on, and maybe some challenges that are holding you back from performing your best. And in there, you'll find a prompt to help you set some goals. So I'd like you to do that and share them with me, because I love to help support you guys and give you insight if you need it or would like it, and I'm more than happy to help y'all with that along the way. So check it out, do it. It's pretty good, and people love to do it and then go back 6 months, a year later, and see where they're at and see that progress. So make sure to date it at the top and write your name just like you're in school, and it's a great tool to use. All right, so this is the Imbalance Performance Program, and you guys are all officially invited to join in. So my focus with this program is to help you streamline your life, to optimize your health and performance through the elements of wellness that we've talked about a bit today, and just through techniques that I've found to work really well for some of my higher level clients. Make sure that you're setting goals and staying accountable. So this is going to be a key pillar of the first week in our program. So there's 4 modules in this first program that are going to be designed to help you set your goals and really streamline your routine to make sure that it's catalyzing your performance. So if your goal is to lose weight, if it's to reduce your blood sugar, blood glucose levels and streamline that, that's all really important. Whatever it is, we can start to work on it. Again, these are tailored programs to meet your needs. And each week you will have an educational module that will focus on mindset, nutrition, and sleep. And throughout the program, you're going to get 4 different seasonal recipes, seasonal meal plans to help you start to achieve your goal. And last but not least, what I think is going to be the bread and butter of this program is our group accountability session. So each week I'll be hosting a webinar that you guys can hop on, and we'll have a conversation about what we're focused on that week and how to set the intention for the week, and making sure that everybody's progressing forward. So this is where that community piece comes in. We're really here to support each other and work hard and develop you along the way and help you progress towards your goals. Thank you all for taking a little bit of time out of your day to join me. Again, my name is Eleanor Baker, and I will be answering any questions in the chat here soon. If you have personal questions, feel free to email me at eleanorvbaker@gmail.com, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Or follow us at elevated.nutrition on Instagram or Facebook. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you in time.